The Grow My Cleaning Company podcast helps owners of cleaning companies just like you to grow your company and yourself so you can make more money and finally get the time and money freedom that probably got you into this business. Discover how to automate and create systems that allow you to grow like crazy without losing control. If you dig the show and want to show some love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. It really helps. Enjoy the show. Hey, Cleaning Nation, Mike Campion here with the soon-to-be famous Tom and Brandy Clements. These guys, gals, this fine couple has been in our Next Level group for how long?
3 months, maybe 4.
Since the end of September.
November.
We're recording in April. It's been like 6 months. Because I was like, wow, I thought it was longer than that. And if we do math, apparently it was longer than that. So about 6 months. Well, it depends. Brandy says 6 months. Tom says 3 or 4. We're just going to be sexist and go right with Brandy.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And the reason they're on today is we were literally just doing one of our regular Next Level calls. And every week we do a celebration. And, people celebrate. We love that. It's one of the things I would encourage you to do, Clean Nation, is celebrate. Find a group of people that you care about and celebrate often, right? It's so easy to look at what remains undone and beat ourselves up for the places we failed and blah, 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 blah. That's fine. And it's not great, but it's fine. But the celebrations really help. So we do that on purpose. So take that. That's a writer downer. That said, Tom and Brandy just slam us with this massive life-changing kind of deal. And I was like, what? And I got so excited. I'm like, we have to share this with Clean Nation. So I think I've memorized their celebration, but I don't want to step on any of their stuff. So I'll just let you guys tell let's build some anticipation as opposed to going right to the celebration. Let's kind of tell maybe what you were guys doing prior to us kind of getting together, what your fears were, what you're frustrated with, what big changes you made. And then we'll get to your amazing results.
Well, before we came to you guys, we weren't very profitable, and we were some things that did scare us when we first started, trying to get rid of monthly clients, doing things like that we had about 120 monthly clients. So
you guys are residential, correct?
Yeah. So, whenever you say, oh, stop taking on monthly clients, which we stopped taking on monthly clients, and we still have like half of our monthly clients, but I'm
guessing you didn't randomly fire half. I'm guessing you have the top half, the best half, your favorite half of your monthly clients, not just a random half.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got rid of the ones that were too far out of our zone. We decided to just hone in on people that weren't so far away from us. And so we got rid of clients that were too far out and the ones that weren't profitable. Some of them even went biweekly on us, so that was actually good for us. But yeah, like I said, we still have about 60 of our monthly clients that we're working on. Some are just kind of weeding themselves out, which is great when they do that. So,
and let me give an encouragement to everybody. I want to focus on monthly clients bad if you're writing stuff down. What I do want you to focus on is having standards and picking the best clients and only taking them going forward and kind of setting standards for going backwards. So if they're a pain in the butt, they don't pay, they pay late, they complain. You can't make them happy. Those got to go regardless. If they're only once a month clients, I personally wouldn't take new once a month clients. If I was commercial, the least I would take is weekly. And if I was residential, the least I would take is every other week. You guys do you, that's that. But the big thing is hopefully for you guys getting the confidence of we can pick and choose. We get to create the life that we want. And that means a certain amount of profit. That means a certain amount of respect from the client to us. That means getting paid, maybe even in advance. So what I hear you saying is the first thing was I said, the clients that you have now aren't going to get you to your goals. Get rid of a bunch. And that made you tighten up a little.
Yeah. And it really was that we looked at all of our monthly people, the ones that were too far out, were a pain in the butt, were complainers, were never pleased, no matter how much effort we put towards them. Then those we just got rid of, and in a nice way. We like, hey, we don't think we're the best fit for you. We don't think we can serve you the best level that you deserve. We're just going to discontinue service. Some we said, you know what, we can serve you better if you were biweekly. You really need it. And like Brandy said, the ones that we offered that to, about half went for it and became twice as profitable, which made up for the ones that we lost. And then not taking on any more monthly people, because as we were noticing, we lost about 70 clients, which was not quite half, but dang near. And we were kind of freaked out.
You parted friends,
We
right?
parted friends.
There's a difference.
We quit servicing those people, but the ones we were getting on, number one, they were easier to keep happy because they were more a fit for what we were offering and what we were selling. And
so let's get back to the frustration. Because I think if we're not clear on what had everything been going good in your life, and I said, make this tremendous shift, or anybody said, make this tremendous shift to your business, you probably would have been far less receptive. So before we get to kind of the solution, and I think that's a good part of it, is just being more particular about who you take. How is that showing up in your lives, right? Like you mentioned, you weren't very profitable. Was that like, hey, we're not making payroll, not making our bids? Was it I don't like how did that show up? Whether it's money or quality of life or hours worked, how is that making your life miserable?
We weren't making payroll.
Okay.
Many times. And our billing, the way we were billing is net 30, net 50, any net period. We were struggling, and the business, we really had to look. We were thinking about shutting down even to the point, and that's about where we found you guys. And it was heartbreaking because Brandy had built this from the mop and bucket from our house, the cleaning chemicals from our house.
How long have you guys been in business? Let's start there.
18 years.
18 years. So that's got to be one part terrifying, one part heartbreaking, one part frustrating. Like you just want to punch somebody. So 18 years. And by the way, guys, gals, and we're going to talk about what rock stars you are here pretty quick. Cause there was like, poor Tom and Brandy, like, I thought we're going to celebrate. Why are you talking about all the miserable stuff? I want to encourage you guys, because I talk to y'all and it can feel like, listen to what he just said. And it's going to sound insane, not because Tom's insane, but because emotions run how we make decisions oftentimes. So he said two things. And if you put them together, like that makes no sense. Yet many of you out there in the world are in the same situation. One, we're not making payroll. We're not flourishing financially. How about time emotionally? Like, was it like, but I love the business? Or you're like, no, I was miserable. I hated everything. Like
we're hardworking people. We thought we could work our way out of it. We thought the harder we work, the more hours we work, the more profitable we'd be and the better our company would be. And it was the exact opposite. It was drowning us in animosity towards each other and towards the company. That's how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there's many days, just being frustrated and, we get dragged, both of us get dragged in the field constantly, trying to keep employees and all of that, which, that's another thing. We've been able to maintain, our employees better since this program too, so yeah, just all around, there's many things that have come from this Grow My Cleaning company that we love. and I'm not working obviously I'm not working in the field, but I'm not working in my business. I'm working on my business. And that's as much as I want. I'd say probably about 15 hours a week right now. So compared to
60, 80,
it was bad.
Honestly,
yeah. Like
both of us,
at least around 60, so
let me encourage all of you guys listening. I promise we're going to talk about kind of the new results and a bigger picture of what they did differently. But I've been there, so I'm not judging. Tom and Brandy have been there. I can't imagine they would judge. But listen just how crazy this sounds. And I've been there, so not judging. One, we're working all the daggum time. So much so it's affecting our relationship with each other and our family. I know you got at least one son that I met. So the most important things in our life are at risk. Our relationships with one another, we're unhappy, so we're not happy. Our financial, it's all bad. And even then, you would think people would be like, oh, I'll do whatever it takes. And they did, by the way. So again, I'm not saying they're not coachable, but even then it was scary, right? So even then they were like, oh, we couldn't possibly. So even when reality right in our face is going, what you're doing isn't working. And it's tough because a lot of people come to us in this kind of situation, in some version. I'm not saying this exact situation, but this desperate where it's affecting their life. It's affecting, finances are bad, life, happiness is bad, relationships are bad, different causes, but they're at the same spot. And we ask them to do something scary and they go, I don't want to do that. And they go right back to, it's like an abusive relationship, right? Like I'd rather be in this abusive relationship with my business where it just beats the crap out of me, but at least I know it. I'm afraid to go out and do something different. So I just want to encourage you guys, you don't have to wait. I mean, even if normal smart people like myself and Tom and Brandy can have to get to this point before they change, and it's still scary, you can wait until you're like, I can't live like this and change. Do not recommend. I would encourage you, when you start going, I'm not getting the results that I want, and I want radically different results, be open to doing something radically different. I wish I could tell you, yeah, Tom and Brandy just gave my company a bunch of money and everything got easy and we did everything for them and everything was magical and we just held hands and skipped. But that's not the case at all. We asked them to continue growing as people and do scary stuff and step out in faith and be coachable and not make small changes, make massive changes. And you guys tell me, but I'm guessing it didn't go from, we're going to talk about how good it is now. And, hopefully you guys have a picture of how uncomfortable and unpleasant it was 6 months ago or 3, depending on who you listen to. And I know if you're sitting at the beginning, you're like 6 months seems like all the time in the world. But again, it didn't go from everything was exactly the same and one day ago, everything got perfect. They stepped out in faith and did something scary. Maybe it got a little worse and then, took one step back and they got 4 steps forward and like, holy crap, we got it. And they did something else scary. And it was kind of this iterative process that you can keep staying where you're at. And 6 months from now, you'll be right where you're at or out of business or burnt out, or you can do something different, but don't think you have to do something a little bit different to get big. If you're getting results way off, you got to do something way massively different. Okay. So walk us through, now we'll kind of do I don't want to say the reveal, but so that now that we've painted a pretty clear picture of, we weren't making payroll. If you're not making payroll for the company, God forbid, I'm guessing it was savings, your own financial wherewithal, like as opposed to the company paying you, y'all were paying for the right to be in the company. And again, I get everyone's like, we're not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay. How's your retirement? How's your savings? If you're any version of, I can't buy my kid X because we don't have the money, whether it's payroll or a reasonable vacation or a car that works or living in a house as opposed to an apartment or a house that you own as opposed to a house that you rent, whatever reasonable financial goals you're not making, don't wait till you can't make payroll. Fix it when you're just like, I'm working my tail off and I'm not getting where I want to go. So talk to us now about kind of what last month looked like or what your new reality looks like. And then I'll let you just open the floor to tell Cleaning Nation we kind of know picking your clients. I'm sure I'll give you 1 or 2 other key things that you want to share, but share the new reality first. And we'll give you kind of the 1 or 2 things you want to share in addition to picking your clients.
Yeah. So like what I shared with you, so from the beginning of the year, so in January, we were only making a profit of 2%. So as of April, we are making 18% profit. So that's huge to us. And our revenue has gone up 15.
So hold on, before we even go to the revenue,
okay.
That's a 900% return. So if you're making $1, you're now making $9. Now again, $9 ain't good, but if you're making $1,000, that turns into $9,000. So a 900% increase in revenue, or sorry, not revenue, profit. And by the way, they're going to share their revenue numbers, which a lot of you are going to get more excited about. Don't sleep on the revenue. It's all about revenue. I wouldn't care if you're like, we could make an extra nickel with it. We've been working our tail off. We're making same top line revenue, but we've 9x'd our profit. Okay, let's do that. Right. And now if you get nuts and because say you doubled your revenue, but your profit was still 2%. Okay, you went from making $1 to $2. Who the frick care? And twice the work. God forbid something, twice the risk, the liability, the having to put money out there. So if I could pick doubling the revenue or 9xing my profit and keep my revenue the same, I will 9x if I could pick doubling my profit and keeping my revenue the same or doubling my revenue, I'll double my profit for God's sake. So I don't want you guys to sleep on 900% going from 2% profit to 18% profit. That is a tectonic shift in your business. So yeah. I'm making a big deal because I think your revenue number is impressive and a lot of people are going to be excited about it and it's good. But again, now you take the revenue and you 9x the profit, you put that together, the synergy is like, holy crap, we're changing some worlds here. All right. So now talk to us about the top line, less important, but still important number.
Well, sure. Right. Yeah. So our revenue went up 15,000 over the course of those few months from January to April. And
you guys are a sub-$1 million company. It's not like you're A $10 million company went from $1 million a month to $1,015,000. Like for you, that was a large jump up in.
It was a large
Right.
jump for us.
Yeah. And with that said, we also lost 19 clients in the course of those few months. So yeah, our revenue jumped up 15,000. We lost 19 clients and our profit went up 18%. So
not 18%, to 18%. So 18%,
to 18%.
That would have meant it went
Sorry.
from 2% profit to 2.2% profit or 2.4% profit. It went up 900%, a 2% profit. And again, you could have added $15,000 of revenue. And if your profit was 2%, 15,000, you would have made another $300 a month.
Yeah. And
great job. Or 18% profit. I'm going to do 20 because I can't do math, but 20% profit off of 15 grand. That's an additional $3,000 of profit every month. Plus now your other nonprofit turned into profit. That's got to be life-changing money, no?
Yeah. I think it was when we took the shift between trying to be the cheapest out there to get the most amount of clients as we could. We thought the more clients we had, the more money we make, the more profit we are. But we changed the way we were thinking about getting clients. We didn't want to be the Hyundai dealership. We wanted to be Mercedes or Cadillac. And we thought, oh, everyone's looking for the cheapest thing. And it's not true. They're looking for just the same as we are, a good culture, good people that they can trust to not kill their dog or, molest their child, or, they're looking for safety and security. It's like everybody else. And the people out there looking for Cadillacs, they'll pay whatever. They don't care.
There's a reason Tesla has way less revenue than GM, like way, way, way less. And they're more valuable. If you look at what their stock is worth, what they're valued at, way more value. They have way fewer customers, but their customers are freaking the right customers, and they're all in, and they're happy. They're all about it. Yeah. They want the experience so they can make more value out of less clients. I love that.
And instead of the clients that, you dread that are calling and yelling at you and screaming at you, you get clients that are just like, hey, Tom, no big deal, but the baseboards are getting a little dusty, instead of someone calling like, I paid $12 for those baseboards to be clean. Why aren't just a different kind of customer? It makes working so much happier, makes our people happier, makes everything better, and less clients, more profit. It's hard to fathom coming into that it works that way, but I'm here to tell you it does. It just does, Mike.
So you got me sold. I'm in. I'm buying what you're selling. So I love money, and I think we've covered that pretty well, going from a 2% profit to 18% profit. And since January, we're recording actually May 1st. So 4 full months. And going from whatever you're adding $15,000 in new clients, that's about $4,000 a month in clients, which is, it's not tectonic, but it's a nice, you do that every month. You added $600,000 a year. It's not a bad little gig, especially when each $1,000 each $3,000, another $500-600 in your pocket recurring. Now let's get to so money's good, right? I like that. That's hopefully it sounds like gone from not only making payroll, like, this business pays us and we don't write checks to the business writes checks to us. That's how it's supposed to be. I would say more, once your bills are paid. So I'm sure you guys are beyond we're now paying bills into what I call put it with the pile money, where it's like, we make more money and we have the same car that we have, we live in the same house that we live, our life doesn't change. We're able to give more or have more impact, but it's not like, all that. Once you're out of the poverty, I can't pay bills, right? That's a big deal. That's the first priority. But once you're out of that, adding more money is great. More impact, more fun, more vacations. That's all great. But then I get to quality of life. So tell me what I'm really interested, what I think Brandy said, she's working 15 hours a week. It's working on her business as opposed to in it. Tom said you guys are both working 60, 80 hours a week. Tell us how you do that hat trick, right? Even if we kept your income, even if we just got your income to barely paying your bills, but you could go from fighting and 80 hours a week working and hating it to 15 hours a week of feeling really fulfilled, even without the profit. That's a big daggum deal. Like, let's celebrate that for a minute. How does that life feel? And what would you say to Clean Nation? They're like, I want that life. How do I get it?
Yeah.
You want that, or you want me to take that?
I can say some. I mean, it feels really good. Of course. Like I worked my butt off to get to this point, you know. I told you I wish I would have done it sooner, you know, that's for sure. You know, and yeah, it can be done. Sometimes I feel guilty because I'm not working as, you know, much as I think maybe, you know, I feel I should. I don't know. I just feel guilty sometimes. But
by the way, Cleaning Nation,
so nice.
and I'm going to give you some love and Brandy. That is very common, especially when you've been working for 18 years. And it's like, you know, it's like, oh, and we think like, oh, I've got 18 years of experience. No, you've got 1 year of experience. You just keep repeating over and over and over until you do something different. So that's very common for people that have been cleaning themselves for 5, 10, 20 years to feel guilty for the value they brought. Cause like, this is so easy. Right. But they didn't. Yeah. Let me just encourage you, sister, you are getting paid for the value that you bring to the world. And there's a reason successful entrepreneurs are so hard to achieve and they get paid so well. You got to do some stuff. So A, I love where you're living. B, what advice would you give to the guy or gal or a couple out there listening? Like, I've been cleaning for 10 years. You know, I don't want to be cleaning for 18 years. How do I change my life? Give us the secret sauce.
Yeah, you know, it's a mindset first. I feel like it's got to kind of start there. But yeah.
Which mindset? Tell me the mindset that's not helping and the mindset they need.
Well, the mindset that they need is that, well, we'll start with the mindset they don't. And that's, I need to do it all. I'm the only one that knows how to clean. Nobody can clean like me. My customers aren't going to like it if someone else is in my house cleaning, not me, you know. So
you don't know this, Brandy, but you just hit about 2,000 people right between the eyes. They're staggering back like, oh, she nailed me. Oh my God, that's me. I've said that 1,000 times.
Yeah. And the mindset that they need to get in is that there are people out there that can make good employees that will help you, you know. You know, let's see. How do I even say that? I mean, just got to think of the bigger picture and think of, you know, how you can bring jobs to your community. You know, how, I don't know.
I don't know.
So let me put words in your mouth, Brandy, and correct me if I completely misinterpret you, but I'm hearing when you're, and this is so common, when you're in the field cleaning for 60, same with if you're in a fight for your life, you can't think of quality of life or a bunch of philosophical things. You're just fighting for your life. And when you're cleaning 80 hours a week, it's really hard to believe that a new reality can even be possible. So it sounds like first you have to separate a little bit. And this takes community, guys. This is why we do everything in groups and not just one-on-one. Because if I just yell, and that's what the podcast is, right? And a lot of people hear the podcast and they're like, I get it and I like it. And even Tom and, you know, Brandy, people are like, oh, I wish I could hang out with them for a week or two or whatever. Like, that's exactly it. That belief to a degree is a little osmosis, right? Like they always say, you're kind of, if you take the attitudes, the net worth, the income of your 5 closest friends, that is your attitude, your net worth, your income. So what I hear you saying is you were in a attitude of fear and desperation, and this is what I deserve and it'll never get better. And the first thing you had to do was change it to hope of, it doesn't have to be like this. It can be different. Am I totally misconstruing you, or is that what you're communicating?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Like, exactly.
Yeah. And for me, kind of, it was, money. Like we're not really greedy people. We don't want the boat and just stuff. Like we just wanted what our bills are, some fun money, and to work less, to have more time in our lives to spend with each other, with our community, with our friends, with the people we love and want to share our lives with. We were sacrificing our time with them for money. And now we've learned how the money matters, but we found a way to make enough to keep us happy and not have to be slaves to our jobs. That to me was worth billions to have my time back.
It's so paradoxical when we focus on the money. Sometimes it's hard to get the money and we kind of let the money go and just focus on living out our values. the money comes. It's almost seems unfair both sides, right? When you're working so hard for it and you can't get it feels unfair. And when you finally let go and be like, I'm just going to focus on being the owner I need to be, and it just comes, you're like, that seems almost weird. All right. Yeah. I'm going to let you guys wrap it with best you can. And again, by the way, these guys have spent months with us and we've got hundreds of hours of coaching. So it's not, I don't want them to feel it. Obviously, if we could tell you how to do this in one podcast, we would just tell you and we'd just do the one podcast and that would be it. But 800 podcasts later, we're still trying to communicate. So don't put too much pressure on yourself, Team Clements, but just each of you give a 30-second best thing that you could share with Cleaning Nation on how to go from 2% profit, 80 hours a week cleaning to growing at, 15,000 a quarter every 4 months in revenue, 18% profit, and out of cleaning forever, working 15 hours a week.
I got this. You got to know your numbers.
To go, but we'll have Tom go first.
You got to have your numbers. You got to know your numbers. You got to know what they are. You got to know where you're profitable, if you're profitable, where to put your money, where it's serving you the best way. If you don't know your numbers, you could be dying even slowly. You could be dying fastly. But if you have no idea, know those. If you take nothing else from clean profit method, numbers.
Bring the data, not the drama.
Data. Don't let your emotions run your company. Let the data drive it.
And if you don't have the company, you only have your emotion. What else can you do?
Yeah.
There's nothing else. So
yeah.
And I do want to encourage you guys, gals. A lot of you know that you need your numbers. Like I've heard that before, but you haven't been able to do it. Again, I'm going to give you community. There's lots of folks out there. You're welcome to reach out to us, but find somebody to help you with the numbers. If you've not been able to do it on your own before, find a community of people that A, understand the numbers, and B, will help you get it in a way that you need. Don't just hope it gets better. It will not. So please, Tom's exactly right. The one thing I'm going to add to someone's like, I've heard that before and I don't know what to do. I know you don't know what to do. Find someone that does and have them help you. We'll help you. There's plenty of good coaches out there, but don't use, I don't know how to do that as an excuse to continue being broke. Tom and Brandy, I would say you guys are very typical in terms of these, Tom doesn't have an MBA in accounting, Brandy doesn't have her CPA's license. They're regular people that know how to add and subtract, and their books and numbers are clean. And it was probably more of a belief of I can do this than it was this big scary thing, but we don't look at it and we're afraid to look at it. All right. Sorry. Rant over. We've got to wrap this because I've got to let these guys get on with their amazing, relaxing life. Finish this, Brandy. One thing that you want to share with Clean Nation to help them kind of get some of the results that you got.
I can say delegate, learn how to delegate, learn how to get people that know what they're doing and pay them to do what I can do my, put my time with something else that I'm more capable of doing. Get a payroll, get ADP to do your payroll for you, get a good bookkeeper. Don't try to do that yourself. That's the thing that I finally was like, I have to get someone to do that. That was my biggest thing. I feel like to relinquish control on that and say, yeah, like, I'm clearly not doing things right here. I have to have a professional do that. So
I'm going to do the same thing I did to Tom. Here's what everyone else is saying. I would love to, Brandy. I've heard that before. Delegate. I don't have the money. I can't afford it. Hold on, guys. This is from a gal that went from 2% profit, not delegating, fired a bunch of clients. I can't fire clients. Whatever they say, I got to do. Fired a bunch of clients and delegate is now at 18% profit. So the whole, I can't afford, it's like, can't you? Maybe the reason you're not making any money is because you're not delegating. All right, guys, gals, this has been just a thin slice of heaven. We are so honored as a team to get to serve people like Brandy and Tom. The coachability is amazing. For those of you guys who are like, I would like that kind of help, go to growmycleaningcompany.com. We've got about 800 podcasts. The best place to start is the free on-demand training. If you listen to the outro, I'll give you a number. You can text me directly and I'll do what I can to help you. growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out now. See you there. Well, here we are, the end of the podcast, and you made it. Great job. I've got a little bonus for you for sticking through with me. But like I mentioned before, if you got value out of this podcast and you want to show a little love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever the heck you're listening to this thing. Share it with a friend. Share the love. And as a special thank you for those of you that stuck with me to the end, how about I give you my personal phone number so we can text? It's a great way for me to get to know you, your business, your goals personally. So shoot me a text now, 602-932-6431. That's 602-932-6431. I am the only one who responds to these texts, and I will personally respond to everyone I possibly can as long as this number is manned. Don't know how long we're going to keep this at the end of the podcast, so grab it now. 602-932-6431. Give me a text, say hey, can't wait to meet you.